Shadow Pokemon are probably one of the craziest mechanics we've seen in a Pokemon game, but for some reason we haven't seen them in almost 2 decades. Yes, in Pokemon Go you can catch some Shadow Pokemon from Team Go Rocket, but that's not where Shadow Pokemon originated. The year was 2003. Michael Jordan was in his last NBA season. Kangaroo Jack had just hit theaters, and Apple was launching something called iTunes, where people could listen to music like In the Club, Ignition, and Get Low. But perhaps more important than any of that, the Pokemon Company swung for the fences, trying something different on a new game. And I think Pokemon Colosseum was a home run. If you've always wanted a Pokemon game with explosions, crime, flirtatious NPCs, and a banging soundtrack, look no further than Pokemon Colosseum. As I booted up the GameCube, I was immediately hit with so much nostalgia. The sound effects of the intro and the home screen music transported me back in time. Then, I was immediately hit with a problem that still persists today in modern gaming: not enough memory. It felt weird deleting old save files, but I feel like the beauty of old games is experiencing them again, not dwelling on your old progress. With that hiccup out of the way, we were in. Listen to this music, bruh! This music gets me. Every song in this game is a banger. We're Big Truth. Look at that Skarmory. I know that Pokemon. Oh, I forgot about the Team Snag grunts, bruh. This intro cutscene introduces us to our character. We are a member of a gang that steals Pokemon. But today, for whatever reason, we've stolen the device that allows these criminals to capture other trainers' Pokemon. And now we are on the run, with only our old friends Umbreon and Espeon and our bike on this journey with us. And we out this mug. And I blew it up? This is a Pokemon game. After our daring escape, we stopped for a snack at the outskirts stand and witnessed 2 shady individuals discussing a job they just finished, and they drive away with an interesting bag in their truck. Walking in, we see the denizens of this eatery enthralled by the news of our dangerous escapade, but thankfully nobody seems suspicious of us. One customer even says he'd love to battle us sometime, and sure enough, when we try to leave, he can't resist asking us to square up right now. Oh, I can't wait for this battle theme, bruh! Oh, I'm so excited. And the way the screen is gonna spin, here we go. Oh! You love it. You love to see it. Willie sends out 2 adorable Zigzagoons against our well-trained former criminals Umbreon and Espeon, who once I get the chance I will be nicknaming Eepers and Isabella, but we'll get there. We actually start off with really cool movesets on them, but all we're gonna need for a while is Bite and Confusion. Also, I'll end up moving my face cam off their health soon, don't worry. Flinched! This run is blessed. The run is blessed. First Bite flinches, bless run. Great first battle team. I hope I get to rename them. Why not test your skills in the Phoenix City? You'll find trainers who are way better than me there. You should go out there and get some battling in. So I like how I'm just canonically I stole this machine, exploded the building, balled out, and was just like, alright, I'm just gonna go train now. I'm just gonna be a normal trainer. We hop on our bike to head to Finnick and arrive to see the 2 shady figures carrying the suspicious bag. Only this time, we hear a voice from within it. Realizing we're a witness to whatever crime they're committing, we are challenged to a battle. Little do they know, we're not an ordinary trainer. After their quick defeat, they drop the bag and run. When we open the bag, we free someone who would change the course of our lives forever. This is Chat. Her memory isn't super clear, and so the locals suggest we see the mayor for advice, and we help make sure she arrives safely. This music! In this cast form! Here we go. Wait for it. Hey, the beat go off? We take a minute to enjoy the music and get acquainted with the stats of our Pokemon. We get a little lost, but get some lore on the town, then finally arrive at the mayor's house as our paths cross with another character who might shape our story. But this one is much more intimidating than Chat. As he leaves, we enter to meet the mayor, who is a bit odd. This is a rotund man. SK, don't be weird, man. We don't need you to be the weird old guy after what just happened. This is where Chat explains that she remembers seeing a Pokemon that gave off a black aura being used by those thugs. And this dangerous Pokemon would even attack people. She was kidnapped because she has the ability to distinguish these unique Pokemon. The mayor says something weird again, but promises to investigate and recommends we check out the town's stadium in the meantime. I'm going upstairs. You can't stop me. I'm gonna go investigate you because I think you're weird. Who is this woman? What is this dress doing on this bed? What is going on here? Oh, hi. Aren't you a cute guy? What is this place? Sadly, the stadium is all booked up at the moment. When we leave, we're confronted by our past. Our former gang has sent some grunts to find us and take back the snag machine. We take them down, and chat questions us about our past. We admit that it's true. Like one of the grunts said, we weren't just any old gang member. We were the best at snagging other trainers' Pokemon. Chat responds surprisingly positive and says that she has an idea. Her idea requires Pokeballs though, which aren't really sold much around this region. We actually have to go back to the outskirt stand and see if they have any leftover stock they can dust off for us. Does this game have Premier Balls? Let's go! Legends Arceus doesn't have Premier Balls. What's up? Right away back in Finnick, we're told there's trouble at the mayor's house. And if you thought we were done meeting interesting characters, you'd be wrong. In fact, we're about to not only have our first encounter with a very special type of Pokemon, but we're going to meet perhaps the most iconic character in all of the Pokemon games. Yo, I didn't know Mirror B was gonna be here! Alright, Mirror B. That sweet young thing! Hoo ho ho ho. Let the music spin! The most iconic music in all of Pokemon. Changed my mind. Last time you caught me off guard, it's not gonna happen again. Oh, here we go! It all starts right here, chat. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm getting chills. Like, I'm actually getting goosebumps. This is where it all starts, man. Chat, what do your elven eyes see? Chat, here it is. It's one of those Pokemon, man. This Pokemon isn't afraid to attack people. There's no other choice. Get that Pokemon back. Only you can do it. What a good story, man. What a good setup. Truth through the snag ball. It's level 30. Good lord. I wonder if this is a free catch or if I need to like actually lower its health and stuff. Slammed. After their defeat, the thugs express their fear of how Mirror B will react to their failure, and they run away. But I'm sure we'll see them again. After life in a gang, this is the first time it feels like we're the hero. Chat celebrates how we were able to save that Pokemon by taking it from the goons. But there are probably still more out there, and we should really try and save them all. Let's get all of them back from the bad guys. This is my mission, and I humbly accept. I will catch them all. Leaving the office, we notice that at each of the 3 exits, there's a criminal trying to stop us from leaving. One in green, one in red, and one in blue. Feel familiar? As a certified plant lover, I have to go with the grass trainer, and I was so excited to see what Pokemon I'd get the snag. Mystery Troop Verde. What you got? Bayleaf and Grimer? Is it really a Bayleaf? There's no way, right? No! Is it actually? I didn't think it was gonna be! That's hype! That's so hype! That's so hype! That's so hype! I did not know I was gonna get to start off with a Bayleaf. I thought I remembered it being like that, but... Oh, that's so hype! Big snag ball. Let's go! We got a Bayleaf! Oh my gosh. It's a Pokemon we turned into a fighting machine by artificially closing the door to its heart. The Kingdom Hearts crossover is gonna be crazy! No, you didn't! You artificially closed the door to that poor Pokemon's heart? Look at this old lady. What did this old lady just witness right here? She's just in on the conversation? Alright, she's walking away. When I was little, I heard about that. They say that if any Pokemon closes the door to its heart, it can be gradually reopened by battling together with it. You might be curious how this girl we found in a bag knows so much about old Pokemon folktales, but we'll get there later. For now, I wanted to start opening the door to Bayleaf's heart early. Shadow Pokemon don't actually gain experience. Instead, each time you leave with them in a battle, the door to their heart gets a little bit more open. The more open it is, the more moves it learns, because at first, it just has one move, Shadow Rush. Occasionally, your Shadow Pokemon will lose control, going into Hyper Mode. It's much more likely to crit in hyper mode, but it also might not listen to you. So usually I just call the Pokemon by its name to calm it and open the door to its heart just a little bit more. I run a few battles at the pre-gym in town until I unlock Synthesis on Bayleaf. Then I take our partner Chat's advice to pursue the criminals further in Pyrite Town. But first, we stop at this construction site on our way. The workers here say someone really rich is paying to build a huge tower here in the middle of the desert. I'm sure it's not important or relevant to the story at all, so we keep on pushing to Pyrite. This town, in my opinion, has the most iconic music in all of Pokemon. Brace yourself. Dude, chills. We overhear that this guy Kale clearly has some tea to spill, but he won't seem to budge about it when we ask. An old man immediately warns us how rough and tough the townsfolk are here. We meet a fortune teller, chat with the police, find the original criminals hiding in prison from Mirror B. Then another old man tells us about how the town used to be less scary when Duking was in charge. So we decide to pay this Duking guy a visit. Maybe he's taking a dookie. What is this? I'm just exploring every building, man. Hello. Duking, you in the Colosseum. I'm busy, alright? I'm the lookout. Nobody's supposed to get by me. There's nothing special behind the bookshelf. Are y'all playing D&D back here? It didn't seem like there was much for us to do back there, but as we left, we caught Silva, an old friend of Duking's, chastising him for letting Mirror B run the town. Then I quickly exchanged polite greetings with another local. You're a trainer too, aren't you? Your rules this town as here, we have street battles rather than exchanging greetings. Good to know. Approaching the center of town, Chat tells us this is where she first saw a shadow Pokemon and where she was kidnapped because of it. I knew in this town our team was about to expand and my eyes were set on one key piece, one cornerstone for the rest of our journey. We were about to get many new partners from the trainers ahead, but none like Spluter. Each trainer here battles you with a different shadow Pokemon you can snag, and of course, my mission is to snag them all. We add a Noctowl to the team and a Misdreavus right after. Alright, we got a Misdreavus on the squad now. Do you battle me? You're quite the hottie, thank you. Still in the town square, Noctowl learns Hypnosis. This makes it much easier to snag Shadow Quagsire before we road trip to buy more balls, then come back to secure a Flaffy and a Skiploom as well. Almost every Pokemon we snagged here would be useful to us at some point, but finally it was time for our secret weapon. This is what we've been waiting for? Let's go! Oh, that's hype. I want this Slugma, bruh. I want a Mad Cargo so bad. I organized everyone we've caught so far, and now it's time to progress. We learned Pyrite is an old mining town before someone rats out that Kale guy from earlier. If I get a Shadow Ralts, I'm gonna be so lit. It's probably the Furret, but Shadow Ralts, I would go crazy. Yeah. Dude, Ralts would have been insane. Slam. Ralts was going for the Oscar right there. We whoop up on him and catch his Shadow Furret before he tells us that Mirror B is giving winners of the Colosseum battles Shadow Pokemon. Then we get a quick peek behind the curtain at what's going on with Mirror B. He has a conversation with the strange man we met back in Finnick before saying that he's heading back to his cave. Let the music play, let it rip. The Colosseum has a secret. I guess there's no choice but to take part in a battle challenge there. I guess there's no choice but to run it. Of course, for the plot, there is a minor hiccup in the plan because someone took a gear out of the windmill that powers the Colosseum, but I big brain solved that problem pretty quick so that I can slam everyone in the Colosseum sooner. There aren't any shadow Pokemon in the Colosseum, and most trainers don't have more than 3 Pokemon on their team, so there wasn't much to see here other than the AI trying to use moves against my Pokemon that they're immune to. For winning, we are personally escorted into the Cypher Gang's hideout, but before they can give us a shadow Pokemon for free, we get recognized. In the battle that follows, we add a Yanma to our collection. Making your way through this hideout is a little tedious. It's just a lot of mandatory battles, but we are really making progress opening the doors to Pokemon's hearts because of it. Is this gonna be an elevator back down? Oh, never mind. Yeah, get ready to get slammed. Mirror B Peon Wreath. Alright, the plan still applies here. Oh, there's a Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Remoraid? Brother. That's only level 20. Is it gonna die to a return? No way, right? If it dies, it dies. Oh my god, I did kill it. Oops. Why was it only level 20? Yeah, I reset the game and was able to successfully slam this trainer the second time while also catching the Rimmer Raid. Most of the trainer battles around this point in the game aren't actually that difficult, but when you're intentionally trying to get one of your opponent's Pokemon low without killing it, things can get pretty complicated. What's the Mantine? What? What a crazy crit. The 1 HP lived. Oh no, the flinch. I didn't know I was gonna get crit flinched, bruh. I should have helping handed. Am I getting slammed? Also not optimal. Please don't hit Misdreavus. We're having a real tough go at this right now. Let's go, Bayleaf. Show him what's up. Let's go! Para. Let's freaking go! Bayleaf, my goat. Let's go. Let's flipping go. We have not missed a Shadow Pokemon yet. Turns out Silva tried to be a hero, breaking the windmill and charging in here after a kidnapped Plusle. Mirror B taunts us before we try to head into his cave, where the guard also unexpectedly battles us. Oh my gosh, I have to battle this guy too? No way. Which one of these is Shadow? The Quillfish? Brother, I don't want a Quillfish. I know he's gonna hit though. I know he's gonna hit. I know my man gonna hit. I know my man hits those! W. I was hoping the Gauntlet of Trainers was over and I could battle Mirror B day 1, but it looked like the Abandoned Mines were about to be their own beast. I went ahead and ended the first stream having still made a ton of progress. I'm not gonna lie, when I hopped on stream the next day, I looked up a guide to get me through this place. Not because I was getting lost or anything, but because I only wanted to spend time battling the trainers that I knew had Shadow Pokemon. In this area, we ended up catching a Meditite, a Dunsparce, and a Swablu. And of course, Noctowl's Hypnosis, but also Slugma's Yawn were essential in capturing these. It took longer than I had hoped, but finally, we were about to be face to face with Mirror B. This feels promising. This feels story-driven. We're here. All right, who am I leading? The plan is, turn 1, I click Fly and Confusion. Turn 2, Helping Hand the Fly. Kick out a Ludicolo, turn 1. That's the plan. Top 5 most iconic characters in all of Pokemon. Changed my mind. Let the music play. Iconic music, man. I'm hoping this one-shots. Helping Hand Fly, super effective. Evaded the Leech Seed, big. Doesn't kill. Let's go. Sudowoodo, that's a cool Pokemon to have. Oh, it's a Shadow? Yo. Rock Slide, ooh, it's gonna hurt. Yep. How do I live that? In the end, even the most energetic, dancing Sudowoodo can't resist a yawn from Slugma. Let's go. Let's go. Great job all around, team. One of these days I'll take great pleasure in kicking you about with my elegant dance steps. Dude, imagine if they remake this game, they gotta give this guy Quaquaval. This guy screams Quaquaval. Like, 4 Ludicolos and a Quaquaval? Mirror B, Naruto runs away, and the whole gang meets up as we save the Plusle, which then decides it wants to travel with us. Before leaving Pyrite, the fortune teller has a vision, saying we should head north. And chat remembers, before she was kidnapped, she was actually heading north to see her grandfather in a gate village. So all signs point to a gate as our next destination. This village is a beautiful switch up from the rest of the game. Not only is it full of greenery, but it's home to several factors that will change the way we play for the rest of the game. You're the Name Raider. Oh, shoot. Yes. Yes, I am. I can finally get my Pokemon. Let's go. I finally give Isabella and Eepers their proper names and meet Chat's grandfather. Of course, before we can get into any important details, he's called away to trouble at the Relic. Before heading there myself, I stumble upon another one of this town's game changers, though. Ha! There was. An EXP share. Whoa! As we pull up to assist the situation, several peons are in our way, but none of them have shadows, so we're free to slam them and just move on. When we get to the Relic, the man nearby tells us that Chat's grandfather Egan is actually a trainer of legendary status, and he even calls himself the most powerful trainer before threatening the peon at the Relic with his partner Pokemon that has been with him from the beginning. Am I gonna watch his battle? Is he gonna get slammed? Oh, they're going for a 1v1 here. He's got Fat Pikachu! It's Fat Pikachu! This really is an old man! The Shadow Hitmontop indeed is too much for Fat Pikachu, so we step in and save the day. The Hitmontop gave me a little bit of trouble, but nothing I couldn't overcome. Don't start getting the idea that this game is too easy, though. In my humble opinion, this game probably has one of the most wicked difficulty curves I've ever seen in a Pokemon game. And don't worry, we'll get there soon. After his defeat, the peon tells us he was sent here to capture Celebi and destroy the Relic Stone before heading off to someone called Daykim at Mount Battle. We learn from another old man in town, the Time Flute can summon Celebi to the Relic Forest to purify a Pokemon instantly. We get an email saying there's trouble at Mount Battle, but before we head off, we have some doors to open. And not doors with handles or hinges, but doors to hearts. Heart doors, where we're purifying our Pokemon. And now we finally get to name them too. Our next destination is Mount Battle. This is home to a true test of trainer's strength, as you compete up to 100 battles while climbing the mountain. It's important to note though, at this point in the game, you can heal after each one of those battles. Just remember that, we'll come back to it later. Right now, we only have to make it to the 10th battle in order to progress in the story. And at this point, basically every trainer still only uses about 2 to 3 Pokemon, and those Pokemon are unevolved, like Sandshrew, Cacnea, or Swinub. Before the 10th battle, Junebug evolved, and boy was the timing perfect, because that first random difficulty spike of the game was here. Before me was a trainer that not only had 6 Pokemon, but 6 good Pokemon. And with how easy things had been up to this point, there's no world in which I could have predicted the Pokemon this trainer was saving for last. Cypher Admin Dakin. The music's going hard right now, I'll tell you that. He's got a Matang and a Golem. This is the first person we fought with actually evolved Pokemon. Other than Mirabee himself, with his Ludicolo's, of course. Matang. Let's see it, Junebug. Yep, that was expected. Didn't think you'd do much. But this Golem, can we one-shot? Very close. Great effort. Great effort. Shadow Ball. We're cooking. We're cooking. We eat those. We eat those. Is this guy gonna have a Shadow Pokemon? Hit yourself. Hit yourself. Let's go! Let's see that last Pokemon. Is it gonna be a Shadow? Big crit there too. Junebug has been putting in the work. Junebug has been the MVP of this like area for sure. Entei. What? What on earth? Whoa! 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 I was expecting him to have like, I don't know, a Bellsprout or something. He had Atomic Confusion and died. You're telling me I get a Shadow Entei right now? There's no way, right? Holy. Now I know you might be thinking, you've got 6 Pokemon left and he has 1. What could go wrong? Let me remind you, I'm not trying to defeat this trainer, I'm trying to catch his Entei. And it's 7 levels higher than all my Pokemon, it's a Shadow Pokemon, and it's a freaking Entei. Oh my gosh, we're in the blender. We're in the blender. This is gonna do nothing. Yeah. Okay, okay. Lady Knock, you are throwing. Oh my gosh! In the end, the odds weren't in my favor, and none could stand against Entei's wrath. I actually tried this battle again, but the second time, he led different Pokemon, and I thought I was big brain going all in on a Helping Hand Shadow Ball into Matang, but... Yo, he's stream sniping me? He's stream sniping? What? We had to do a brief training montage to get everyone a few levels up, and also to temporarily put Quagsire on the team since we didn't have a water type. As a side note, the boss of the pre-gym in Finnick is a stupidly designed battle where all of her Pokemon know Double Team and Sandstorm. You just keep missing and taking Sandstorm damage, but it was actually the perfect fight to farm Shadow Pokemon's Heart Doors since her Pokemon barely ever attack. Today we get Entei, folks. I have chosen to put McGluter on the team in place of Morgana. specifically for the Entei fight. I mean, I'll say it. I think McGluder is a must-have in this game, unless you pick Croconaw as your starter. I stocked up on more balls and then let McGluder go to work. Big crit. Big surf here. Entei was still knocking out my Pokemon pretty quick once McGluder finally went down, but on a random Ultra Ball I threw before it even fell asleep. I'm going to go ahead and throw a ball, because we got Ultra Balls to spare. We just have to hope we don't burn, high key. It's that easy. It's that easy. All right. That's crazy. Didn't even have it asleep yet. And we have an Entei now. That's insane. Dakim sends his minions to someone named Ein's lab, and the person we saved from a beatdown just straight up gives us the Time Flute to summon Celebi. Returning the chat's grandfather, he suggests we use it right away, but I want to save it for a Pokemon we'll get in a bit. We head to the mysterious lab, then immediately get an email bringing us back to Pyrite. We pickpocket a key off of a prisoner and use it to go down the elevator back in the Cypher Syndicate hideout from earlier. This brings us to a lot of people's favorite area in the game. Yeah. Okay. Shadow Pokemon. I don't know, I can't rap. Oh. Hey. Oh, okay, we popping down here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the Undertime again today. Without further ado, let's bring out that special someone we've all been waiting for. Lady Venus! It's horrid. There are spies right here in the Under. Can you imagine? We don't really know all the details, but if you see anyone suspicious, let us know. Who wants to bet that Lady Venus has another one of the legendaries? I buy some refreshments, make note of the available TMs for later, then meet someone's grandkid who not only joins something called the Kids Grid, but also recognizes us. Aren't you Truth in chat? It's your boy. We get a cutscene of Lady Venus and another figure talking to Nazgour, then deliver a part to the Kids Grid. Going to leave, it looks like Silva's got himself into another mess. We battle both the trainers who captured him, and I was a bit disappointed with the Shadow Pokemon available to us, but nevertheless, I had to save it. Who wants a Shadow Ladian, man? W.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
We can't break Silva out right now, but he does give us something that lets us progress to a very sudden and surprising location. Oh, snap. Screw it. Let's do it. Rare candy. W. God, what if I walk on screen? Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's me. I'm the spy. Was I supposed to do this? I am definitely under-leveled here. I'll tell you that much. We immediately enter the hyper mode. Oh, gosh. We can debate on crazy difficulty spikes all day, but I'm telling you, Lady Venus has the best team in this game. This is the one time I genuinely got a little flustered. Her Banette's Shadow Ball does insane damage. Her Delcatty's also really strong and has Water Pulse for coverage, but the real menaces come after. Her Vileplume straight up uses Attract and Stun Spore to make the battle a game of RNG. I don't like using items in Pokemon games, but I was annoyed and so I healed a Paralysis. But that same turn, the AI clicked Stun Spore again into my Pokemon that was already paralyzed. And this Steelix, brother, this Steelix, this is the strongest Pokemon in Colosseum. Changed my mind. What's it gonna be, man? It's Suicune! Suicune is certainly my favorite legendary, but as excited as I was, the odds of this battle were not in my favor. We're playing the surely he misses a Rock Slide or gets parried at some point. Surely. He might be out of Surf DP. So frustrating. And this Steelix never misses and never gets parried. Insane. I tried the fight again at the beginning of next stream, but in the end, Suicune legitimately knocked itself out with recoil. I was at another big wall where I needed to grind, so I went to Mount Battle and did battles 1 through 40. Just know it took about an hour and a half, and in that time, Isabella and Junebug gained 1 level, Eepers and Spluter gained 2, and Magluter gained 0. Yep. Be thankful when you're playing more modern Pokemon games when your Pokemon all get XP at the same time. Thankfully, a random trainer outside wanted to battle, and defeating them gave Magluter a level and also the move Yawn. These few levels I gained and having a Pokemon that could tank a Surf use Yawn instead of Sploot was all that was needed to make the difference in catching our Suicune. How could I get bested by a mere boy? I'm a man. Now we go to Pokemon storage and let me get my Suicune out, dog. Yeah. Hey, Magluter, you did your job, but we have a new water type on the team. This is who I was saving our Time Flute for. Using it allows Celebi to come down and immediately purify Suicune, giving it 4 moves including Rain Dance right away, and I never have to worry about Hyper Mode. Also, I nickname all my Suicunes the same thing, shout out if you get this reference, it's not about Baja Blast. Heading back to the Under, we give chase to Lady Venus, who escapes down an elevator while we're forced to take the stairs. In our pursuit, I had a gut feeling we'd be finding more Shadow Pokemon, and I was right. And these were some of the coolest ones yet. Dude, give me a Shadow Gligar. If you give me a Shadow Gligar, he's on the team right now. I'll take Shadow Gligar right now. Right now. Right now. Oh, no way! Dude, no way! It's gonna be a Shadow Stanler. I think it is, isn't it? That's crazy. You know we're big Gligar fans on this channel if you've seen my other Pokemon videos. So I was eager to put him on the team, but then I learned a new lesson about this game going forward. There's always gonna be some random Pokemon with Ice Beam. Do you think I'm not doing anything with this Pokemon this turn? Oh no! Oh no! Brother, why does Dunsparce have Ice Beam? Immediately deconstructing my own decision making, the next Shadow Pokemon was also a ground type, but wouldn't be as weak to random Ice Beams. So now we have a Paloswine. The next Shadow Pokemon was Sneasel, which sounds exciting, but for some reason, this is the one Pokemon model that I think they did dirty in this game. I legit think I've seen this thing before in my sleep paralysis. Regardless, it's a Shadow Pokemon, and we have a mission. We hop on a train at the bottom of the elevator area that takes us into the lab from before, but when we step out, there are 2 guards waiting for us. Gentlemen. Move! Instead of battling us, they just retreat. All seems well, but then... Oh my... That actually almost jump scared me, brother. Those 2 guards tried to block us from entering the lab with the explosion, but for plot reasons, the key to the front entrance is actually here for us to snag. Going back to the Under, we had found a key that let us take the UFO platform up into the old windmill where... Another Time Flute exists? What the... I also purchased a TM for Protect in case I need it later. This is foreshadowing. We will need it later. Now we arrive at the Shadow Pokemon Lab, and at first, with the areas available to us, we can only find one individual. Researcher Myron. Let's see what you got. You're out here double Voltorbed up? Alright. Myron, like the other scientists we'll face here, just had some electric types, but no Shadow Pokemon. But there aren't just scientists here. Cypher Peon Colt. I don't know if you got any intel, but I do have an intake. So, our first snag of the lab is a Shadow Apom, which would be a lot cooler if Ambipom was in the game, but still a fun snag. Now I gotta be so real with you, I have a legitimate beef with this next Shadow Pokemon. I just do not understand why the Pokemon Company gives Murkrow such a ridiculously low catch rate. I play Pokemon Go here and there, and it doesn't matter if the Murkrow is like CP 200. It's gonna be an orange or red circle to catch. Why? It is not that good, it is just a bird. The only reason this thing's ever seen competitive play is for Tailwind. It's not that strong, it's not that game-changing. I honestly wish I could love Murkrow more, but it's just too annoying to deal with for me to ever enjoy its presence. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it has insomnia, so you can't put it to sleep to make it any easier to catch. After maybe 5 minutes or so of just chucking balls over and over, eventually I did get it and decided that was a good place for me to end the stream for the day. The next day, I grinded another 10 battles at Mount Battle to get Piloswine and Entei ready for purification. If you couldn't tell, purifying legendaries takes way longer. With his heart restored, Entei is now the 3rd member of our team with the move Sunny Day, joining Spluter and Junebug. And don't forget, Suicune has Rain Dance too, so we're a weather controlling team. Splutter clutched up for us against the next Shadow Pokemon, stopping it from knocking itself out and securing a fortress that will never leave the PC. Other than the legendaries, the Shadow Ariados probably did the most damage to my team at any point in the run. But thankfully, I can put it to sleep and it wasn't a difficult catch. Unlike Murkrow. I'm not over it. We also catch a Granbull here and battle a scientist with 2 electrodes that enjoy explosions, and when defeated, the scientist pulls an alarm and says now we can't escape. You'd think this is where things would get more intense or more difficult, but turns out he said there's no escaping the lab for you. But I'm gonna go back the way I came. Can I just go back the way I came? Alright. Bye-bye. We get our Pokemon healed back at Finnick before running back to the lab to look at some DNA samples. Then, we stumble upon a trainer who would have one of the last true pieces of our team. The second to last Pokemon we would take all the way to the end. Oh, I should have switched my team around, oh well. Vibrava and Kadabra. I'll take a Shadow Flygon. That would actually be hype. I'd swap Piloswine for a Flygon all day. Yo, that's hype. That's hype. Let's go. I decided I didn't want to run all the way back to Finnick again to heal, so I pressed on and came face to face with a Wobbuffet. Luckily, I have enough Pokemon experience to know I just have to target this thing last, and things went pretty smooth. Just around the corner after all this time was the final Cypher admin. Professor Ein seems to be the head scientist here at the lab, leading the experiments on Shadow Pokemon. Can you guess which legendary he's gonna have? I have yet to face a Cypher admin and beat them and catch their Shadow Pokemon in one try. But I really don't want to have to run all the way back to Finnick to heal again. I really don't want to have to grind again, so I put on my big boy pants for this one. The lead of Huntail and Golbat isn't super easy for Junebug and Baja to deal with, but thankfully they can't do much to me either. So I take turn 1 to set up Rain Dance, thinking this will be a good long-term investment for whatever he sends out next. Surfs from Baja don't do much to Huntail, but Golbat gets slammed. Unfortunately, his next Pokemon is a Lantern. And I'll go ahead and let you know now, I'm pretty sure in this game Hydro Pump never misses. Like legitimately, this is not the last time an opponent will use Hydro Pump. I have never seen it miss. And because I set up the rain, these Hydro Pumps are killer. Ein also has an Altaria that we deal with pretty easily with Aurora Beams from Baja, but here's your reminder again, don't forget, you never know which Pokemon will randomly have Ice Beam. There it is. Oh, that's so sick. I have to take out this Lantern, though. This Lantern's a bigger problem than the Raikou. Oh my god, no way, one shot! That's a bad look. That's a bad look for us. I try to set up Sunny Day so that Hydro Pumps do less damage, but I get outplayed by the Lantern setting up its own Rain Dance. Now Raikou's Thunders can't miss. I legitimately thought this battle was chalked for a second because I always forget how tanky Suicune is. With another Sunny Day to survive Hydro Pumps and some shuffling around of which of my Pokemon were on the field, we isolate Raikou, yawn with Splutter, and we snag the last of the legendary Shadow Trio. The Professor flees, mentioning how he's created the ultimate Shadow Pokemon for his boss. On our way out, we pick up a TM for Earthquake, and I know we already have the perfect candidate to use it on. Vibrava and Raikou join our party as we prepare for the final battles ahead. The Kids Grid tells us they can start putting together a list of Shadow Pokemon that exist, but this is literally pointless because the first list he sends us is missing a bunch of Shadow Pokemon, and I've already caught everything I can anyway. On our way out though, we're told that the construction site from the beginning of the game is finished, and that's where we have to go next. But first, I'm popping another Time Flute on our Electric Boy, who also learns Rain Dance when purified. His nickname, Urathan, is the name of the storm god in the homebrew D&D world I sometimes DM. I grinded for a good bit off stream to purify and evolve Goblin or Flygon, and Urathan gained a level as well. Then it was finally time to head to Realgam Tower. Realgam? So we were off to Real Gamma Gamma Tower. Security told us they were expecting our arrival before we enter a room with 3 doors. We take the one on the right to another small room with a door. Who designed this place? Going up from there, we see Dakim, the man from Mount Battle who we snagged Entei from. This prompts the first rematch with each of the admins. He doesn't have a Shadow Pokemon this time, but can you guess what's about to happen turn 1? Somebody has Ice Beam! We slam the rest of his team and he gives us a green ID badge. From the original room we had left and find the GOAT himself, Mirror B. It didn't get a whole lot done here, but this was the first battle where I could whip out the new tech. Protect on Baja and Earthquake from Goblin. I can run this same strat with All Might, who has Protect as well. Oh, and yeah, I also got Ice Beam to turn 1. Also, this is a battle where I made a discovery about this game I have to point out for later. As Junebug goes down at the end of the fight, look at my team. Do you notice anything? We hadn't swapped out Baja once, but it had barely taken any damage. This wasn't the first time this phenomenon occurred, and it wouldn't be the last. It became a part of my battle strategy that I basically always knew Baja was never going to be targeted by my opponent. Once we're victorious here, we receive the red ID badge. After Mirror B, I went to the Finnick Battle Stadium. Not for experience, but because you can get TMs when you win. On my second try, I got what I was looking for. Giga Drain for Junebug. It does only a tiny bit more damage than Razor Leaf, but it also heals. So combined with Synthesis, Junebug was becoming an immovable wall. You're telling me there was a healer in a safe place to heal this whole time? That's crazy. Old man, why didn't you let me know? Perhaps you're lost in the expanse of this building? Sure. I'll pretend that I am. Then I should be happy to take you. Oh, where am I going to take you? Well, since you asked, you deserve a reply. Oh. Okay. Bro was pretending to be an old man. Mad respect. I think we accidentally murdered this guy's Viper before pressing on to the next room where there were 2 more trainers with 2 more shadow Pokemon. The first that needed snagging was a Sunflora, which we almost botched. Another Dragon Breath will pop out. Oh! Goodness. Sunflora was added to our PC, and then this next trainer I genuinely felt bad for. Swine and Delibird. Don't tell me you got a Shadow Delibird, brother. I'm sorry, but you got scammed. They were giving out Shadow Pokemon and they gave you a Delibird? Scam. No way! Bro, I'm so sorry. Let's see it. Don't tell me I wasted a Great Ball on you. Love it. I shouldn't have battled. You really shouldn't have, man. Like, I can't express this enough. You need to go to HR, and you need to ask them why you got a Delibird. Like, there are people with... I caught a Shadow Entei. Somebody had a Shadow Hitmontop. That was really strong. They gave you Delibird, man. Like, that's not okay. You need to file a complaint. You need to be compensated. You're here at the main base, and they gave you a Delibird. How do they expect you to do your job well when they aren't giving you the tools to do so, you know? I was fully preparing for Venus to use her Steelix again, but she actually had an entirely different team. Without that Steelix, she was much easier to defeat, although she did still pester us with attracting confusion strats. She gives us the blue ID badge, and in the next room we can see where these badges go. And of course, we're still missing one. What's up, brother? Ein was our last admin to refight, and this time he had the fastest Starmie in the West. It outsped all my Pokemon. And reminder, in this game, Hydro Pump never misses. I was able to clutch up this fight, but not without getting a little frustrated, I'll be honest. As long as we live this. Which, I mean... We get an email from Chat's grandpa, so we head back to visit, and he gives us the Master Ball. How I would decide to use this Master Ball would later completely save the run. Oh! Heracross. That's probably actually a Shadow Pokemon. I feel like I remember it being one. That's cool. W. We finally get another fighting type, everybody. Like, normally in the mainline Pokemon games, it's kind of fun to try and catch the Legendary with Ultra Balls instead of a Master Ball. Whoa! What's popping in here? I'm the 1000th guest. Let's go! Oh. Well, dang. That's kind of lit. This liar at the front gate hit 2 protects with his Graveler before we slammed him. Then realizing I was nearing the finale, I stocked up on items across the region. Progressing up the next elevator at Real Gorilla Tower, we come face to face with Nazcour. But he goes up a different elevator and basically invites us to follow. We're intercepted on our way, however, by the leader of our former gang. Turns out the Pokemon the gang had been snagging, they were giving to Cypher for Shadow Pokemon research. This battle contains the final Shadow Pokemon before the finale. Unless I crit, I think we're good. It hardly did any damage to itself. As long as it's in the crit, we're chilling. You know, I really don't know how to explain that other than I know that it was single target, and I guess that does more. I really didn't think it would do that much more. Second time's the charm, though, and after this snag, we ascend to the final elevator to discover what awaits at the top of Real G's Moving Silence Like Lasagna Tower. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. What's happening? Oh, we're in a stadium? Daggum. After all we'd been through, we had finally reached the end. Nazgour announces that he basically wants us to go through an onslaught of battles to entertain the crowd as a way to repay all the trouble we've caused. But unlike other stadium battles, these contestants had shadow Pokemon, meaning we couldn't rely on just winning the battle. Each trainer was going to have a stronger than normal Pokemon that we were going to have to try and snag. Aside from the random Ice Beam from a Porygon making these battles even more difficult, remember back on Mount Battle when we still healed between each consecutive trainer? Let's go. One and done, baby. Now's the moment of truth. Do I heal? If we don't send out Flygon, that means we didn't heal. Oh no, we're not healing! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's so bad. We lost our first attempt after the Shadow Absol used Swords Dance to do unthinkable damage to my underleveled team before taking itself out with Recoil. This is the craziest difficulty spike I've seen in a Pokemon game, when you factor in the challenge of catching every shadow. I legit went to battle 90 on Mount Battle, which took almost 3 hours, and then still fought the same trainers in Pyrite on repeat for another hour or so. After that, you can tell my team is still underleveled for what's to come, but I'm so tired of spamming the A button to get levels. My first attempt back, catching the Miltank is easy. Then, I test how much damage our Earthquake does against Absol. Too much. It takes itself out with Recoil, so it's back to Miltank. I genuinely am playing the game knowing in my soul no Pokemon will ever attack Suicune. This time, the Absol gets itself to low health again with recoil damage. Thankfully, we know our opponent doesn't want to attack Baja, so by protecting All Might, we cancel the Absol's moves entirely, stopping it from hurting itself. We ended up hitting 3 protects in a row, and then... this was our first time against the next trainer's Shadow Houndour. I legit pulled up a calc to see whether or not a Surf would put this thing into catchable range, and I spent a while making sure it would live. Unless I crit, I think it lives a Surf. A good sunny day here too, so... That was the run, bro. I'm playing a reverse Nuzlocke. Normally in Nuzlocks, they have to play around whether or not their Pokemon can get crit. I literally have to now in my mind think, okay, I can't crit the enemy Pokemon. I have to intentionally use weaker moves to make sure I don't crit the enemy. That was the run, bro. Entei hit 3 protects in a row that run. I got the triple protect that run. So we're back at the Miltank. We snag it. This time the RNG gives us Earthquake from Sharpedo, which was a real curveball, but after Sploot puts Absol to sleep, we start healing our Pokemon while we wait for the snag. I get a lucky paralysis on the Houndoom instead of crit surfing it this time and make the snag. Battle number 4 has a Shadow Tropius for us. I can't lie, compared to the other battles, this one is the easiest by a long shot. Tropius is kinda useless. Sorry, Tropius lovers. Battle number 5 is finally against Nazgour himself. And it's still on my mind that if we get wiped or the Shadow Pokemon dies, we're going back to the Miltank. For that reason, I was really hoping he led Pokemon that I could just hit with an Earthquake or a Surf, and was relieved to see him offer up a Blaziken. The run. Protect. EQ. This is what it's all about, boys. Slam. Slam. Great turn 1 from us. Great turn 1. Lauren comes out. At least we already got one down. I take the risk of setting up my own Rain Dance because I want Urathan to hit some Thunders and my Surfs to do more damage. Before I can even swap out, Nazgour drops an X special on his Pokemon. Something I've never seen a trainer do in a Pokemon game before. Mudtrucker's out here using X specials? I correctly assessed that a single Thunder won't finish the Wall Rain, but I didn't click Surf here with Baja for some reason. Looking back, I really should have. Urathan takes some damage and gets confused, but we fight through the confusion to finish the Wall Rain and hit a big Surf on the incoming Xatu. Dusclops starts clicking Destiny Bond here, but we'll worry about that later. I avoid it for now, knocking out his Xatu and his Gardevoir. I yawn here into the Gardevoir slot though, knowing Nazgour is about to send in his Shadow Pokemon. At this point, I decide the only person worthy of knocking out Baja is Baja. So I surf for damage on the Metagross, but take out the Dusclops, and because of Destiny Bond, Baja drops as well. Now, with the stall squad of Sploot and Junebug on the field, I have every opportunity to try and snag this thing in an Ultra Ball. I could use my Master Ball here, but we have one battle left, and I'm in a really good spot this battle. I'd rather wait because I don't know what to expect with the last Shadow Pokemon. What if I accidentally kill it with a crazy crit? What if it uses Explosion? What if it's level 100 or something? I don't know. Oh my gosh! All that bad luck I had. I can't complain anymore. As Nascour looks at the ground in defeat, a friendly face arrives. It's the mayor of Finnick. But why? All I'm saying is, we knew this guy was a weirdo from the jump. I am Evice, and I shall rule the world? I didn't see that one. I did not see the weird upside down magical flip coming. I'll destroy you utterly so you may never rise against me. Oh man, chat, this is it. Who was here, chat? Who was here? Turn 1, the mayor drops an X attack on each of his Pokemon, and I get an Earthquake off with Goblin, but I'm stunned. I do no damage. I know Slacking will loaf this turn, so I'm able to surf with Baja. Dragon Breath also chips down Slacking, but I'm worried about what this Machamp will do. Don't kill Goblin, don't kill Goblin, don't kill Goblin, don't kill Goblin, don't kill Goblin. This is not optimal. I send in Junebug because I need someone else on the field who can soak damage. Then the mayor drops a full restore on both Pokemon. I'm down a Pokemon now, but back to square one. I'm also thrown for a little bit of a loop when for the first time, someone attacks Baja. Now with Slacking's ability, however, I can protect Baja and use Junebug's turn to heal it back up. This works out as Machamp and Slacking both attack Baja. With Slacking loafing around next turn, I go for a Surf in the rain. Underleveled. Junebug also gets a Giga Drain off here before the game throws us another curveball. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Spooter leveled up, okay. I protect Baja again, hoping for another Earthquake. But Scizor not only takes out Junebug, 07's in the chat, but it gets a random boost to all its stats. Now I have to send someone in that will take a hit from Machamp's EQ, and I decide to put Sploot on the chopping block, because I know I'll need All Might for the Scizor. But with the rain up, for now I want to see if Urathan can make an impact. Thunder can't quite finish the Machamp, and Scizor gets another Omni boost. Scizor is becoming a problem, but at least we get the Machamp out of the way with Surf, and the Mayor replaces it with a Salamence. At this point, I'm running out of Mons, so I pump life back into Sploot, knowing Urathan will fall this turn. Sploot comes in at only half health, but lives a hit from Salamence. That's my Sploot. Sploot goes down immediately next turn, but Sploot did what it needed to do. I needed to make sure I could get All Might in as safely as possible. Okay, so here's the vibe. We have to start reviving dudes. And then you're gonna protect and really hope you got doubled this turn.
Holy crap.
If you don't know, Baton Pass just took all those stat boosts from Scizor and gave it to this Tyranitar. Any Pokemon with double Omni Boost is a problem, but by giving those boosts to Tyranitar, a Shadow Pokemon, I can deal with Tyranitar in one turn before it even has a chance to move, thanks to the fact that I thought ahead for an emergency situation just like this, and saved my Master Ball. If I didn't still have the Master Ball here, I think that Baton Pass could have ended the run. Dude. That's the most nervous I've been playing a Pokemon game in my life. 6 battles back to back, man. No pausing between, no saving, no healing. Holy. Slam. It is technically not over yet. This Slowking could work me. Let's all be clear. To deal with the Slowking, I revive Junebug and Urathan, and with Sunny Day and Spark, we defeat the final trainer in the Pokemon Colosseum main story. Who was here, chat? Please let me save the game. Please let me save the game after all this, man. Baton Pass on the Scizor was crazy. It's Duking, and Silva, and the Pirate Town Police. Everybody's here. And Egan? And Fat Pikachu! It won't end this way next time. I will ruin you next time. I promise you that. There won't be a next time. Helicopter coming in. He's trying to escape with that helicopter. What? What's happening? Slammed! What happened? It's a Ho-Oh! Oh, that's so cool! It must have been keeping an eye on your heroics from the sky above. You obviously earned its support. Dude, I'm like low-key emotional. Oh, that was so tough. Dude, look at that, guys. Thank you. You were strong, you answered the call, and you were cool. And that's what matters. Ho-Oh is so close. The Ho-Oh is blessing you for your victory. Such a perfect outcome, yes indeed. I feel some type of way, man. I don't think I ever beat this game as a kid, man. This is so cool. To go back and beat a game that I loved so much that I don't think I ever beat. Dude, that was insane. Dude, when I got the crit surf, I was heated. Oh my goodness. I could have been here. Like, we genuinely got so lucky at the end, though. For all the bad luck I had in the entire run, every time I got freaking parried, confused, hit myself in confusion, every time I fell asleep, every time I crit when I didn't want to, every time I got crit, it was all worth it in the end when I caught the Metagross with an Ultra Ball. I cannot stress enough, if I don't catch that Metagross with that Ultra Ball, we wipe. We wipe. Because if I couldn't have Master Balled that T-Tar, I was either going to have to kill it, which I don't even think I would have been able to, or we would have wiped. I was not catching that with an Ultra Ball after it got Baton Pass Scissored. Holy, I'm glad I made that call. Wow. That was insane. Yes, please save my progress. Yes, please override it. Holy. Now, yes, we just heroically saved the day, but my goal was to catch every Shadow Pokemon. And believe it or not, there's still a few more out there. Also, this is a good time to remind you if you've made it this far and enjoyed the video, leaving a like below is always very appreciated. I upload videos like this at least once a month, so go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of the fun. You can also feel free to stop by my Twitch channel, where I actually streamed most of this playthrough. I'll leave a link to all that down below. After the credits, an email tells us there's a sus Pokemon in Pyrite. Kale seems to be the guy who would know something, but he refuses to give us the details unless we battle him. Oh my gosh, slam! Get splooted. Kale gives us the location for the first of the 2 starters that we missed from the beginning of the game. To snag it, we need to head to the ruins of our old gang's hideout. We have to battle some annoying trainers here to maneuver through, but eventually at the end, we see the blue armored trainer we chose not to face back in Finnick all that time ago. Let's go. Next, there's a man in the Under that's double Wailorded up, and after defeating him, he tells you that the red armored trainer with the final starter has gone back to the Shadow Pokemon lab. So we make our way through again and add another Shadow Pokemon to the collection at the end. Let's go. Now, you may think this next Shadow Pokemon is shiny, but it's not. Smeargles in this game just have red tails for some reason. And this trainer, among his many other Smeargles, has a Shadow Smeargle. We defeat him and capture the Smeargle before snagging another Grunt's Ursaring immediately after. We're here at the Snag'em hideout again because if we defeat Gonzap, we get the D-Disc, which takes us beneath the Under, which is already beneath Pyrite. We need to enter and win the Colosseum battles down here 5 times for the next Shadow Pokemon, and the first 4 times are rematches against the admins. The first rematch with Mirror B was eventful, because I saw my first ever hydro pump miss, which I'm convinced was a bug, but I also almost lost this battle. I realized I was way underleveled again, so... Oh, baby, another 2 hours fighting this Sunflora, let's go. I also got to Purify Wound. Feel free to ask in the comments about his nickname. Back in the Deep Colosseum, we beat Dakim, Venus, and Ein. Fun fact here, every time you enter a Colosseum in this game, chat stays outside. So I was very interested to see what would happen when the Shadow Pokemon came out for the final match of round 5, since she's normally the person who informs us a Pokemon is Shadow. But it turns out she just magically appears behind you to let you know. Now with only one Shadow Pokemon left, we start getting emails saying we're attacking people like the kid who was chasing a Castform in Finnick. Eventually, we check the TV, and it turns out we're battling someone right now at the Outskirts stand. It's so cool seeing 2 models for this player character next to each other, and even cooler that this character has whatever name you chose. I forget here that he only has his Shadow Pokemon left, so I send both attacks into the same slot, and when his Shadow Togetic comes out, it's only level 20. One last reset for the road, I guess. And with that, the journey was over. It ended right here where it started. I had done something I always wanted to do as a kid in catching every Shadow Pokemon. I stood there for a while at the Outskirts stand, not ready for it to be over, but man, I had a blast. Thank you so much for enjoying this journey with me, and I'll see you in the next one.